Hello everyone, and welcome back. Don't I look very busy today? Living on a lakefront property isn't always about laying on a lawn chair and looking at a view. Sometimes you're going to want to make changes to your home, just like I'm doing now, and these changes are going to have an effect on the surrounding health of your natural area. Funnily enough, this reminds me of something that happened to one of my neighbors down the street. He wanted to build a shop for his tools and found that the area he cleared beside his property was too wet to hold a building. So he used a drainage system to reroute the water away from this and found soon after that his well had started to lose pressure. That area that he moved water away from was actually feeding his well. This is just one example of many that show how changing one part of your property can have effects on the other parts. Lucky for you, I brought a friend from Parkland County's Planning and Development Department to teach you a little more about construction on your property. Hey look, here he comes now.
Hey everyone, my name is Construction Cory, and I'd like to thank you for bringing me out here today. Let's take a walk to my office where I can tell you a little bit more about development on lakeside properties in Parkland County. I work with Parkland County in the Planning and Development Department. At my department, we look at a lot of different types of information about land from Geographic Information Systems, also known as GIS. We also use Global Positioning Systems, or GPS, mapping, land surveying, and historical land record. Using these, we know how to help minimize negative environmental impacts created by development. I heard Lacy spoke a little bit about how manipulating your lakeside property can lead to unintended and adverse effects. Well, that's very true. Living on the edge is always an investment and one that you need to be sure to protect. When you design projects without consideration for the unique characteristics of a lakefront home, you can damage your investment in irreparable ways. Let's talk about some strategies that you can use at your property to help maintain its environmental health during the construction. In fact, I have a site that's being built right now. Let's check it out.
A lot goes into a site before we get to this stage. In fact, there can be years of preparation and planning before the first brick even gets laid down. The first step in starting a construction project to restore your shoreline is to prepare a site plan. Let's go take a look at another construction site on that bluff over there.
Here is a perfect example of a common construction project lakefront owners go through. They want to open up a view of the lake, so they remove trees that are blocking it. Well, this can pose a big problem, especially in areas like this where your property is on a bluff or hill. These trees are in fact your home's protection. Their roots are holding the soil in place and preventing erosion. When the owners remove the trees, the cliff has nothing to support it anymore. Think of the cliff like your muscles and the roots like your skeleton. Without the skeleton, your muscles will just collapse. If you really want to open up a view of the lake, try pruning or limbing trees instead of cutting them out entirely. Also, refrain from cutting off the tops of trees, as this will lead to abnormal growth and cause rot and fungus at the exposed top.
On that note, let's go over some construction tips that will help you build your property into a loving home that is harmonious with its surrounding nature. The first and most important tip is to always hire a professional and certified contractor that you're comfortable with. Spending time and energy in choosing the right contractor is always well worth it, as this is a huge investment. When you are giving someone the responsibility of bettering your home, you need to make sure you can communicate with and trust them. Always make sure to relay to them all the things on your property that you want to protect. These can include your well, septic system, forested or natural areas, and buffer zones.
The next step is preparing your site. Before any actual construction occurs, you have to make sure your property is ready to handle the amount of disturbance that contractors, construction vehicles, and construction tools may cause. Some of the ways to do this are to, firstly, block off your shoreline, as this will stop contractors from driving their vehicles through it. Secondly, fence your trees, as this will help minimize the chances of them becoming a casualty of the construction machines. Number 3, avoid construction during wet times, as this may lead to sloping or imbalance in the foundation of your project. And finally, give a copy of your property protection plans to your contractor, as this will notify them of any sensitive or environmentally significant areas on your property. Wow, Quite a bit of information to cover. But I hope that gave everyone a good introduction to low-impact construction projects on lakefront properties. Thank you, Lacy, for having me. I hope that you have all learned a lot. However, it's time to get back to work, and I'll see you guys soon.